I went to case question.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good way to do it. Oh, that's not much. That's hard.
So you're taking pictures of mine, so mine's less than oh, jeez.
How you doing?
Good luck.
Grace.
In front of everybody else.
Good morning, and welcome to the 218th Commencement Day at John Carroll's Academy, the oldest Jesuit school in these United States. Please join the prep singers in our national anthem and remain standing for our opening prayer by the President of the Yard, Jack Rawlins.
Last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, we thank you for all the gifts and all the opportunities you have given us. Lord, we especially thank you for the opportunity to attend this place we call Georgetown Prep. Now that this chapter in our lives is closed, we will need you more than ever. Lord, don't let Georgetown Prep just be a stepping stone. Rather, our foundations that keep us grounded. Lord, grant us the wisdom and the fortitude to retain these bonds we formed over the last 4 years, to only bind ever more tightly. Lord, give us the courage to take all the values and ethics we learned here and bring them to wherever we may find ourselves, always knowing that prep is our home. Now Georgetown Prep is not where we go to, but is where we go from. So Lord, through our actions, let us as loving, kind, caring, compassionate men for others share Georgetown Prep with every person and place that we encounter. Amen.
Please be seated. David Malinak is a magical young man. He has proven himself to be one of the most excellent students in our school's history. He has exhibited an array of talents in robotics, computer science, creative writing, Ignatian spirituality, as well as leadership on the tennis courts and all across campus. The distinguishing feature is the passion and the good cheer that David brings to his pursuits. He is persistent and always smiling. As busy as he has been, and he has been very busy, he was never one to avoid a conversation or a good laugh. We are delighted that he will be speaking to us today, and he will attend Stanford University in the fall. Please join me in welcoming to the podium David Malinak to address the class of 2017 and all of our guests.
Mr. Glennon, thank you for that introduction. To the family and friends of the graduating class, thank you for coming and welcome to Prep. And to the Georgetown Prep class of 2017, congratulations. After years of keeping GP 17 in our Instagram bios, it finally means something. Over the last year, I've learned a lot about time. Some people think of time scientifically as the abstract fourth dimension, while others just think of it as the annoying thing that never stops. As for myself, I still think of time in three simple terms: past, present, and future. But of these, we only ever experience one: the present moment. In fact, as I have learned from Buddhism and have discovered myself, the whole human experience, past and future, can be boiled down to a series of present moments wherein exist all of our blessings, our challenges, and our opportunities, patiently awaiting our perception and our subsequent empowered action. Arriving at this grand conclusion took a long time. About 4 years ago, far before my exposure to any of these ideas, freshman year of high school was quickly approaching, and I was anxious. Over a meal at the mall, I asked my brother Kevin, prep class of 2011, how he would summarize his time in high school. He paused for a moment, leaning back in his chair, and then replied, "Freshman year, you're just kind of getting used to things. Sophomore year, things get real. Junior year, things get even more real. And then senior year, you're done." And I laughed. I didn't believe for a second that his 4 years at prep had felt as short as those sentences. Yet here I stand, at the podium at graduation, willing to swear that our freshman orientation was only a week ago. How is this? For 4 whole years, we have broadened our horizons each day, learning new things about the world and about the people within it. How could time feel so short? On top of that, St. Ignatius suggests that analyzing the past can be one of the most enlightening ways to inform our knowledge of the present. How can that be so, since time compresses our experiences into an imperfect human memory? Using the analogy of a 1-week high school experience, let's look back on our time at prep to see if we can answer those questions. It's as if last Sunday I was an 8th grader, tired of my middle school hallways and eagerly anticipating a change of scene and a change of people, a brand new place to learn and grow. And then, as soon as I walked onto prep's campus, freshman year hit me like a Monday. I walked into some of the wrong classrooms, failed my first quiz, which was on summer reading that I didn't know we had, and then ran my legs into stubs on the first day of cross country. Needless to say, my freshman year had not started well. So, of course, I turned to card magic. Well, my family had warned me to keep the playing cards at home until at least sophomore year, and reasonably so. After all, what kind of social status does the magic freshman have? Fortunately, my dumb decisions to do magic tricks at school granted me my first glimpse into the inclusiveness of the prep community. During my magic debut in Mr. Banky's class, I placed a playing card in the hand of an enthusiastic volunteer by the name of Kevin McGarry. Then, by some supernatural force, or just a lucky coincidence, a cloud covered the sun and the classroom darkened. With a snap of the fingers, the card in my hand transposed with the card in his, and the class went nuts. Soon after, word got around. Students flocked to the George Cafe after school to see the magic freshman perform. And though I heard many cries of, "He's a witch," and "Burn him," thank you, Jack the Vault, I also heard cheers of "Do another," and "How do you do it?" I felt welcomed and encouraged as an individual amongst a community of passionate classmates. This sense of community only grew throughout freshman year, into the classrooms where we bore the weight of a heavier workload, into the stadium bleachers where we watched Prep's lacrosse team take the IAC title over Landon, and into the South Room where we grew accustomed to devouring our daily chicken. As it turns out, Monday wasn't too bad after all. And now, I wish I could have made it last longer than a day. We moved on to Tuesday, sophomore year, when things started to get real as we moved up from the bottom of the food chain. Outside of the classroom, we raged with upperclassmen during our first homecoming dance and wrestled obnoxiously during break in the lockers of McCavanagh. Sorry, Mr. Fineri. This was also the year I joined varsity tennis and formed an unbreakable bond with my teammates in the fires of focus, time, and dedication. After an unforgettable season, we took Prep's first IAC tennis title in 15 years. Parents, trust me when I say that the countless hours your son has spent at Prep after 3 p.m., on the field, in the theater, or in front of a chessboard, have built the character, relationships, and community that set Prep apart. But now, here, those hours feel like they were mere minutes, and sophomore year was only a day long. Time kept moving forward. After Tuesday came Wednesday and junior year. As the college application process was peeking its ugly head around the corner, together we survived standardized testing, driver's tests, and later bedtimes. In this stressful time, big thanks to Senora Singer for providing me with an occasional breakfast, and to Mr. Tirado for consistently asking, "You good?" This semester moved slowly, so that by the time it seemed we had reached Wednesday night, we had only reached the end of first semester. As junior year continued, from Wednesday into Thursday, through the hours I had spent on campus, Prep was feeling more and more like home. On Kairos, our most powerful class retreat, we firmly established our brotherhood based on our shared experiences as sons of God, students of Prep, and travelers on the path of life, so that I could confidently trust my classmates as family. As time persisted into Thursday afternoon, the summer of our junior year, we spread our newfound sense of care and compassion for others on various immersion trips. Some constructed houses in New Orleans, while others worked with the underserved children of Nicaragua. As for myself, I chose a local trip, working and sleeping for a week at the McKenna Center, a homeless shelter in Washington, D.C. After speaking one-on-one with the men there, I was able to see the most destitute of society as family, just as I had learned to see my classmates as brothers on Kairos. But now, looking back, the week of service was too short, and I'm left wanting to give more. And so, after Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday had passed, Friday had finally arrived, first semester of senior year. Though we were still in the whirlwind of college applications, the promise of Saturday, second semester, kept us working hard. Soon enough, however, I realized that my final moments at Prep were passing me by, one after another. Simple, special moments. Watching my last high school football game, or dancing with my girlfriend at our last homecoming, or even just random noises in the quad, were slipping like a rope through my hands. In fact, after looking back on my freshman, sophomore, and junior years, as St. Ignatius would have suggested, I had clearly been letting those moments slip by every single day. I was rarely taking the time to appreciate my limitless blessings, as I am finally doing now. This is why time had felt so short. I had to find a way to slow things down, to grab the rope and hold on tight. Thankfully, the remedy was simple, powerful, and direct. In my world religions class, we learned about Buddhism and mindfulness, awareness of the present moment. In the words of Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist monk, a mindful man notices the blue sky, or the quiet blessings, or the forgotten souls. With these ideas in mind, I set out to practice mindfulness in the name of enjoying the moment. As I emptied my mind of stray thoughts and focused only on the present, even ordinary moments turned extraordinary. Walking out into the quad, I noticed the sunshine through the foliage high above, the proud brick buildings around me, and the green grass below. But I also heard Joe McCord and Caleb Wilson yelling, "David!" In the math office, I wholly appreciated the abilities of Metcalf, Ratliff, and Libre to annoy Mr. Weiscarver. In the computer science lab, I held on to every word as Mr. Dom and I spoke about the nature of reality or about how to live. During our final prom, I recognized the love in my girlfriend's eyes as we danced together and felt the fire burning in my heart in return. During the same dance, my newfound sight opened my eyes to the passionate, expressive dance moves of Riley Stewart. In the South Room, instead of wolfing down my taco, I enjoyed and appreciated each bite wholeheartedly. As I walked out of the robotics lab in the evening, I paused to watch the pink-orange sunset paint the statue of St. Ignatius. After a long day, walking in through the garage door, I truly heard my mother's "I love you" when she said it. Buried in homework late at night, I acknowledged the blessing of being able to study at all and found the mental strength that had been buried underneath my stress. As I drifted to sleep in a soft, warm bed, I felt my heart beat and my body rest. The next morning, from the comfort of my car, I recognized the homeless man on the intersection of Democracy and Old Georgetown. Through mindfulness, I discovered the wealth of blessings and strength that exists all around us in every moment. And even more importantly, as I prayed the spiritual exercises, I found God inviting me to embrace each moment, each person, and each gift. I then found myself asking, how can I give back? I was holding on to the rope, holding on to each moment as it arrived. Still, senior year felt short as we pushed from Friday into Saturday, second semester, when I more fully enjoyed my final school days with my lifelong friends. But now, we have arrived at graduation on a beautiful Sunday morning. Everyone, now, become present in this moment. Notice the sky above you, the buildings around you, and the clothes on your back. Look at the person to your left and to your right. And if you can, make eye contact with your family members. Don't think, just feel the gratitude that this moment deserves. Gentlemen, we are all about to undergo a massive transition into another 4 years that could go by as quickly as our time at prep. Given what I have learned, my advice is this. First, as St. Ignatius would have wanted, look back and be mindful of where you came from. Remember the deep bonds of friendship that we have formed here together. And be mindful of the privilege we've had to work and play at the best high school in the country. Then, turn to the present. Hold on to every moment. Each is a gift from God. Each gift represents another blessing. Family, health, shelter, education. You'll find that your worry, anxiety, and uncertainty will vanish in a flood of gratitude, even in times of trial. You'll make clearer, better decisions to steer yourself into an unknowable future, even when information is limited. I promise you'll find God gently but constantly tugging at your heart to bring you closer to Him and closer to others, even when you feel more distant than ever. And then, turning to the future, we will go forth with hearts aflame with generosity, ready to embrace the homeless man on Democracy in Old Georgetown, ready to respond with love for family, and ready to give our gifts and talents back to the world. Class of 2017, don't let the gift of time slip unnoticed through your fingers, for we have an unlimited potential for good. Let's go show the world what we can do. Let's give and not count the cost. Let's go to work. Hoya Saxa.
Please proceed.
presentation of diplomas, names will be read in groups of 8. Applause is certainly welcome and appropriate as each group approaches the stage. As the last student receives his diploma, please cease applause as the next group will be read. A professional photographer has been engaged to take a photograph of each student as he receives his diploma, so we ask that you not take photographs beyond the area of our parents and graduates. Thank you for your cooperation. Oluwatoni Richard Argibiagbi. John William Aiken. Justin Miles Allen. Young Jung An. Angel Renato Anawi. Jonathan Benjamin Augustin. Robert Leon Bacon III. Ignacio Javier Baena. Isaiah Rashard Barnes. Matthew Christopher Bartlett. Carter James Belov. Timothy Robert Bergen. Evan Scott Blum. Bryant William Boswell. David Carter Brown. William Penn Burns. Edwin Butler, Ji Wong Cha, Hu Sung Chong, Michael Malat Cavell, Darren Omid Denai, Zachary Michael Davis, Michael John Detman, Jack Riley Duvall. Tillman Mawinda Dozier IV, Maxwell Christopher Edwards, Carl William Walker Failing, Edward Walter Flanagan, James Harold Flannery Jr., Xavier Edward Francis, Edwin Wellington Frolic, Henry Aidan Furlong. Miles Gabriel Gamboa, Thomas Egan Gates, Jacob Alexander Garish, John William Gazal, Luke Peterson Gilner, Yi Wong, Charles Robert Hanley IV, Alexander Blaney Harper. Jude Thomas Hathaway. Matthew James Hirschberger. Benjamin Allen Holman. Philip Clifton Anderson Holtz. John Lawrence Horning. Samuel James Hunt. Joseph Stafford Jakubowski. Christopher Aaron Johnson. McDowell Reed Johnston. Joseph Patrick Kane II. Ethan Scott Krause. Brian Patrick LeFew. Matthew DeAngelis Libre. Gavin Keegan Lindsay. James Walker Logan.
Oh my gosh, what the heck?
Brian Thomas Long, Lu Cho Cha Yuan, Jackson Charles Luck, Patrick Joseph Aloysius Lynott, Jack Haswell Magruder, David Justin Malinek, Robert Ian Maloney, Ryan Patrick Maloney. Nicholas Ivan Matei, Grayson Cole Mazik, Christopher Thomas McCann, Aiden Timothy McCleary, Joseph Charles McCord, Kevin James McGarry, Robert Maxwell Metcalf, John Thompson Miller.
like that, George.
Curtis Glenn Mitchell, James Howard Malloy IV, Anthony Carlo Momo, Donald Patrick Mullane, Matthew James Mulquin, Jordan Andachik Myers, Sina Namazi, Alexander Vladimir Novikov,
Go, Mary.
Miles Lake Oliver, Ryan Patrick O'Loughlin, Thomas Hewitt Olson, Andrew Paul Armitage, Richard Anthony Patrick Brown, Pan Yun Leon, Alexander Fox Ratliff, Harry William Richardson. Rinaldi. Antonio James Roach. James Joseph Roach. John William Raleigh. Robert Harry Saylor III. Anthony Joseph Scafidi. Benjamin Cameron Sedgwick. Colin James Shreves. Patrick Robert Silverman. Patrick Casserly Stanton. Riley McGuire Stewart. Samuel Chapin Ichiro Tartar. Peter Albert Borostic. Jonathan Xavier Wanger. Caleb Michael Wilson. Youngsun Wu. Zachary Scott Wood. Owen Daniel Wright. Zhu Ti An. Zhu E. Peter Anton Zudke III. Dong Zhe. Zhao Ji Yuan. Chen Han Bei. Anybody need a phone? Graduates of the class of 2017, please stand as I present you to Father Pilares as candidates for a Georgetown Preparatory School diploma. Reverend Father President, as headmaster of Georgetown Preparatory School, and in accordance with the decisions of the faculty, I attest that those receiving diplomas have fulfilled the requirements of graduation and merit to receive certificates attesting thereto.
Members of the class of 2017, by the authority invested in me by the Board of Trustees of Georgetown Preparatory School, I accept the recommendation of the headmaster and faculty and officially confer upon you your diploma with all the rights and privileges thereto pertaining, and declare you sons of Georgetown Preparatory School forever. Congratulations.
One more time for the class of 2017. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to invite Eric McGinnis, our academic dean, to the podium to present the graduation awards.
Good afternoon. The department awards and some athletic awards were presented to the students judged outstanding in that particular subject or discipline. These were awarded at a ceremony on Thursday morning. We ask that the award winners stand to be recognized. Please hold your applause until the last name is read. For excellence in studio arts, Matthew James Mulquin. For advanced placement arts studio, William Penn Burns. For his performance in the Prep Singers, James Walker Logan. For the string ensemble, Pan Yan Leon. For digital photography, McDowell Reed Johnston. For the jazz band, Miles Gabriel Gamboa Woo Sung Chong. For his performance in the recording studio, Antonio James Roach. For their contributions to the theater, James Walker Logan and Robert Leon Bacon. For his performance in religion, Joseph Patrick Kane II. For his performance in English, Jacob Alexander Garish. For poetry, William Penn Burns. The Thomas A. O'Callahan Prize for English Composition to Pan Yan Leon. For his performance in biology, Riley McGuire Stewart. In chemistry, Darren Omid Denai. In physics, He Ziyu. The Reverend James T. Mulligan, S.J., Mathematics Award to He Ziyu. For performance in advanced placement calculus BC, Pan Yan Leon. For performance in advanced placement calculus AB, Joseph Patrick Kane II. For AP statistics, Jacob Alexander Garish. For AP computer science, David Justin Malinak. The Robert Lee Hall Medal for social studies to Pan Yan Leon. The award for advanced placement modern European history to Matthew DeAngelis Libre. For advanced placement United States government and politics to Donald Patrick Mullane. For advanced placement government and comparative politics to Jacob Alexander Garish. For the study of AP microeconomics, Shu Tian. For the study of advanced placement macroeconomics, Joseph Patrick Kane II. For his study of Latin, Samuel James Hunt. In French, James Walker Logan. For Spanish, Jacob Alexander Garish. For the study of German, Peter Anton Zutke III. For his contributions to the international program, Zhao Jihan. The Fusillo Family Gridiron Award to Bryant William Boswell. Campus Ministry Award. In his relationships with both peers and faculty, the recipient of the Campus Ministry Award reveals a remarkable trust that he is loved unconditionally by God, and participating in this abundant love which overflows, he reflects that love to others, laboring in service and acts of generosity. The recipient of the Campus Ministry Award is Timothy Robert Bergen. Christian Service Medal. The Fitzgerald Christian Service Medal was established in 1983 to honor the memory of James and Eileen Fitzgerald, parents of Patrick J. Fitzgerald, prep class of 1984. The recipient of this medal has demonstrated the humility in learning from those he has come to know and to serve. His charitable and generous spirit embodies the spirit of Magus, whichever seeks the greater good. And so the Fitzgerald Christian Service Medal is awarded to Matthew DeAngelis Libre. The Athletic Directors Award. The Athletic Directors Award is presented annually to the student-athlete who has distinguished himself through his efforts in the following areas: outstanding athletic achievement, scholarship, mental toughness, leadership, and perseverance. Today, with this distinction, we honor Thomas Egan Gates. The Resident Life Medal. The senior resident students are essential to a successful resident program at Prep. They provide unique leadership. Each member of the resident class of 2017 has led through his own individual gifts. For his ceaseless positivity and his happy disposition. For his exceptional ability to manage the rigors of life away from home and to compassionately assist his fellow residents in doing the same. For his genuine and heartfelt care and concern for the resident community as a whole, and for his modeling of Jesuit ideals within the residential program, the Residential Life Medal is awarded to Deng Xing. The Dean of Students Award. The Dean of Students Award recognizes the graduate that commands the respect of his peers, his teachers, and his administrators here at Georgetown Prep. The recipient of this award has consistently demonstrated a strong sense of character, high ideals, and has played a significant role in the extracurricular, academic, and spiritual life of the student body. The Dean of Students Award is commended to John William Raleigh. The Georgetown Prep Medal, established in 1970, formally recognizes those students who, by reason of their significant involvement in extracurricular activities and positive service to the school, are worthy of special commendation. For their tenacious spirit and generosity, the Prep Medal is awarded to the following students: Justin Miles Allen. Charles Robert Hanley IV. Lu Zhou Jie Yuan. Justin Malinak. Joseph Charles McCord. James Howard Malloy IV. Pan Yan Leon. Antonio James Roach. James Joseph Roach. Robert Harry Saylor III. Riley McGuire Stewart. Peter Anton Zutke III. A round of applause for all the winners of the prep. The Headmaster's Award. It is the privilege of the headmaster to conserve, endorse, and advance the mission of Georgetown Prep in the course of its daily operations. Ignatius Loyola's first desire was to help souls, to be there for the other. And this desire defines and directs what we strive to do here at Prep, in the classroom, in the lab, in the theater, on the playing field, and in the chapel. Educate our students to be men for others. In his position as headmaster, Mr. Glennon has the opportunity to know in different and various capacities the young men sitting here today. They are intelligent, talented, humorous, and industrious. They are young men of good character, and they are young men with great potential. But there is one among them who by his scholarship, compassion, generosity, his sense of fair play, his moral leadership, and especially who through his faith and his commitment to justice embodies what we strive to instill in our students. Xavier Edward Francis. Jesuit Schools Network Award. The Jesuit Schools Network Award was established to honor the senior who most closely resembles the ideal graduate of a Jesuit high school. A well-rounded person who is intellectually competent, open to growth, religious, loving, and committed to doing justice and generous service to the people of God. This award is presented to Darren Omid Denard. The Hillenbrand Medal. The Hillenbrand Medal, awarded annually to the President of the Yard, is a tribute to the memory of Richard Daniel Hillenbrand, who was President of the Yard in 1962. His example of service, it is hoped, will continue to inspire his successors in the office of the President of the Yard. For his outstanding service this year and his fine example for future student leaders, the recipient is John William Raleigh. Cardinals Award. His Eminence, Cardinal Donald Worrell, in the name of the Archdiocese of Washington, provides a plaque for that student who has used his scholastic talent well, but more especially for the student who has exhibited Christian awareness in using his talents in the service of others. This award is presented to Jacob Alexander Garrett. I'd like to invite Mr. James Fagan to present the next medal. The James G. Fagan Medal. The James G. Fagan Medal, founded in 1987, is presented to the graduate who exemplifies discipline, maturity of Christian character, the sacrifice of self-interest for the good of others, and academic achievement. The recipient of this year's Fagan Medal is Carl William Walker Bailey. Roberts Medal. The Wills Roberts Medal was founded by the members of the class of 1945 in memory of their classmates, Captain James Washington Wills, Jr., United States Air Force, and Lieutenant John Arthur Roberts, United States Navy. This medal is presented annually to the graduate who has manifested the greatest scholastic improvement during his final 3 years at prep, and who has participated in extracurricular activities and athletics with self-sacrifice and loyalty. This year's recipient is William Penn Burns. The Alumni Memorial Medal. First awarded in 1949 in commemoration of deceased alumni, the Alumni Memorial Medal is annually awarded in recognition of sportsmanship, competitive spirit, and other virtues of the Christian gentleman as displayed in the field of athletic endeavor during the junior and senior years. The recipient is Ethan Scott Crouch. Williams Medal. Richard Francis Williams ranked first in the graduating class of 1962, and after his premature death in 1966, a medal was established in his memory to be awarded annually to the student with the highest academic average in his senior year. The recipient is Jacob Alexander Garrett. the Hamilton Medal. The Hamilton Medal, founded by Dr. George E. Hamilton, is awarded to that member of the senior class who has most distinguished himself by scholastic success and who, by his interest and his helpfulness in school activities, has contributed in a marked degree to the life of the students. We proudly present this oldest prep medal to its 93rd recipient, He Ziyu. The Jeffrey L. Jones Medal. The Jeffrey L. Jones Medal, established in 2016, celebrates the many contributions of Headmaster Jeffrey L. Jones over the course of his 20-year service to Georgetown Prep. The recipient of this medal best exemplifies the qualities that marked Mr. Jones's distinguished career: generosity, strength, vision, and a passionate commitment to Georgetown Prep. As is true of Mr. Jones, the recipient of this award has left an indelible mark on America's oldest Catholic and Jesuit school. We proudly present this newest prep medal to Caleb Michael Wilson.
As you can imagine, there are many people who deserve thanks for their assistance in making today's ceremonies a success. I want to express my gratitude to all of them and to all of you for joining us. However, there are a few who deserve special recognition. Mr. Randy Smith and his staff for attending to the countless physical details associated with an event of this magnitude. Mr. Leonard Burt and our dining services personnel for setting up the wonderful lunch we had today. Finally, for my own staff, Mrs. Strachan, Mr. Lapp, Mr. Cranbuell, Mr. Kaplan, and Mr. Mitten, for their diligence and dedication in preparing for this day. Please join me in thanking them all. The benediction will now be given by the Reverend David Sauter of the Society of Jesus.
Eternal Father, when Jesus stood on the threshold of his public ministry, the veil of heaven parted for a moment to reveal you in all your fatherly pride. This is my beloved Son, you said, in whom I am well pleased. Today we ask your blessing on these beloved sons, yours and ours, in whom you must also surely be well pleased. They have glorified your name by developing 100-fold the talents you have given them. They have served you by learning to serve all of your children down to the least, and they have done your will in loving one another. Be at their side each step of their life's journey. Walk with them into the places and experiences where we cannot follow. Be their protection in danger and their encouragement in hardship. Be with them in times of loneliness and celebrate with them in times of joy. Grace them with the knowledge that deep in their hearts they will always carry a large supply of love, yours and ours. And so it is in your name that we bless them. And I invite the faculty to extend their hands in blessing. Go forth in peace, Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all men and women. Rejoice in the power of the Holy Spirit. And may the blessing of Almighty God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit come upon you and remain with you forever. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, parents and friends of the graduates, members of the faculty and administration, gentlemen of the graduating class, Georgetown Preparatory School, in its 228th year, the 98th at Garrett Park, now concludes the ceremonies of this, our 218th commencement. God bless you.
How you doing, brother? Same to you, huh? It's been a long few years, but went by fast. Congratulations.
All right, guys.
All right, see ya.
Memories, Brick.
Do you want me to go find
Say hi. Say Dad! This way?
Set off these for 2 cameras.